as time flies by, you'll open up your eyes wide. You feel it's gonna go your way. Hey, hey, it's a brand new day. Hey, 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 it's a brand new day. Hey, hey, it's a brand new day. Hey, 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 it's a brand new day.
Let's do ByCivic. It also fits in. ByCivic, Angela will explain what it is. And afterwards, we're going to speak to Stephanie of Hard Rock Cafe. They're the first one to say, yes, we will give you a kids' safe hangout space. Fenwick has little children, and before you know it, they will be growing up. And as I said, I left Marbella because I didn't want to bring up my children here. I didn't want them to aspire to be the DJ of Kiss or Pepe Moreno's. So I went to a city and came back when I thought they were old enough to take care of themselves. I'm going to have a grandchild now, and I still honestly don't want them to grow up here. There's nothing for my kids here unless they're going to drink or party. We need to change this. Now, quickly, one of the ideas, there's a bowling place. Moises, maybe you can help us with this. There's a bowling alley that's closed in La Cañada shopping centre. For 6 years I've been here. Maybe we could find out who owns it, and of all the people I've spoken to, every parent would be willing to crowdfund to have it reopened. The first thing the kids say is, bowling, give me something else to do. We are preaching to our children, opening party, closed party, jewellery, makeup. We've got 13-year-olds who think they have to be keeping up with the Kardashians. It's crazy. And their parents are too busy either working or drinking to know the difference. So as a community, like when Michelle was saying, from the minute they buy the house, sell them the concept. This is a community, we do this. Unfortunately, although the town hall has amazing facilities for youth, at this age of 13 to 17, the Spanish youth is part of the carnival, the feria. There is very little in common with our 13 to 17. At this age, it's different. But when they're young, we can't even put our international kids in all the amazing facilities that they have for the Spanish kids, because they're just not similar. So Hard Rock Cafe, as I said, the first one to say, Velvet here, the same, particularly off season. We have to make fun places for our kids to go, so they are so exhausted when they finished that they don't need to do else. So we've had, Charlie's not here from Mirage, but in theory they're in afternoon discotheque. Lena from Lineker's, Tibu, afternoon discotheque. Do things for the kids that they learn to have a good time. They don't have to get drunk. Unfortunately, as Lena said, our English culture is just diabolical. My kids grew up in Spain. They ask me permission, even now at 18, 19, 20. Mum, can I have a beer? Because they're allowed to. Whereas in England or anywhere where you're forbidden to do something, it becomes something you want to do. Let's mix the cultures. Let's, like the Spanish, love our families, so our kids don't want to run away from us as soon as they're old enough, so they can have a drink. It's just mixing the nationalities. This young lady here is so community spirited, and she apparently came to my first United Nationalities Summit. She saw the information in the pharmacy and didn't know anyone. And through that, Angela's settled herself in the community, and this is what she's been up to.
Hi, yeah,
she also went and picked up the trophies for me.
So my name's Angela. I moved to Marbella from Scotland about 2.5, almost 3 years ago. But yeah, I love to get involved in community things that are going on. So recently I've become involved in an association called Marbella ByCivic. It's mostly Spanish people that run this association, not-for-profit organisation. But because I'm a sort of new addition, an English-speaking member, we're trying to reach the sort of expat communities that live here, so that, again, the same theme, integrating the Spanish and the foreign communities that live here. So basically what we do is we try to promote cycling as a sustainable transport method in Marbella, to try and get more cycle lanes put in, more bike parking, because as a bike user, and I'm sure lots of you do get on your bikes and cycle around town too, there's not many places to park your bike, and there are not many cycle lanes, so you're either restricted to the Paseo Marítimo, or using the road. Personally, I'd rather go on the pavement than on the road, so that's one of the things that we're trying to do. So basically, if you are interested in our association, come to our events. We have a Facebook page. If you look on there, we have monthly events, cycles around town. Families can come, teenagers, older people, anyone who can ride a bike. It's not a sporting organisation, it's really just people who like to ride their bike around town. So please come. The next big one we have is the 27th of May, a Sunday morning, 11:30. We're meeting at the Plaza del Mar, at the O2 Wellness Centre in Marbella for a sort of 1 hour ride around Marbella. And again, to just raise awareness so that the Ayuntamiento will put in money to give us more cycle lanes. I will speak to them.
The thing is that, like, now when Angela said, now they can, for example, only ride on the Paseo Marítimo, on the promenade, just to make a point, they didn't used to be able to do that. It was because the bicycle associations joined together that they now can ride on the Paseo Marítimo. Everything is a need, and from a need having the support to make it happen. Now, Betty's going to come down because also these things that we do as groups, and I also like Stephanie to come forward in the sense of our children are vulnerable. We need places for them to go. Let's go back a second. Everyone clapped and we said crowdfund to get the bowling alley open. So Moises, do you know who owns that? The bowling alley. ¿Tú sabes quién es el dueño del bowling alley? It's Olivo as well. Okay, but we maybe could make another one. In the sense of if we know what we need, every child that we asked from 7 different schools came up with, give me a bowling alley, give me a place to hang out. Do we have spaces of the town hall to make into like hangout lounges and entertainment lounges? But we could find them. This is the type of thing we need to do. So we need to get us as a community pushing the town hall.
Hey, hey, it's a brand new day.
When we talk about different nationalities, and I'm going to finish my bit on this, we're 137 nationalities. I wrote a column in the Euro Weekly the other day about assuming, because I include myself. And even when I think I'm being open-minded, it's amazing the assumptions I come to. I have a friend, a Swedish friend, who couldn't be here today, but I laugh because particularly when we WhatsApp, it's amazing we're friends at all. Because she's such a Viking, and she's so mean, and she's so rude. But I now know she's actually not mean, and she's not rude, she's just Swedish. But this is coming from an English person who's sarcastic. And, do you know what I mean? We all have our things. So one day I was talking to Ali, and it was funny because I was speaking to my Swedish friend one day, and I was like, all enthusiastic, and she just suddenly said, "Shut up!" So anyway, Ashley was listening, and she was like, "Ooh, you're never going to speak to her again." It's like, "Oh, I'll explain later." Well, one day I was talking to Ali, and I was doing exactly the same. Ali waited for me to finish, and they said, "Okay, Nicole, I want to say that." And I said to her, "You wanted to tell me to shut up, didn't you?" But she's English, so she didn't. She waited for me to finish. We have different personalities. Before I laughed with Gerrit when she said, "How long are we stopping for coffee?" "Ah, yes, you must be German, right?" We like our times. We have, all of us have this fame, no? What nationality are, how we are. The Spanish, oh, it's mañana. And if you're Andalusia, it's pasado mañana. It's the day after tomorrow. It's not even tomorrow. But this is just the reputation. The reality is that I'm English, and I guess I can be more sarcastic, or I can realize that maybe it doesn't go down so well. We have to be open-minded. With the exception of this lovely one lady here who hasn't been screwed in Marbella. Everyone else here has had a bad experience, but that doesn't mean that it has to be that way. So for me, before I pass over to Ali, who controls, as I say, one of the largest, apart from Lena, who controls 40,000 who come in every year, this lady's the next big, and it's a great association, it's free to join in, and they're very supportive of everything, and she's never told me to shut up.
Thank you. Actually, I know a few people have congratulated Nicole, but I think this has been a fabulous event and it will continue. There's a wonderful Chinese saying which is, when is the best time to plant a tree? And that was like 10, 20 years ago. When is the next best time to plant a tree? And that is now. So with what Nicole is suggesting and the ideas that you will have over the networking, There's going to be lots and lots of different ideas for things that you can take forward now and help Marbella and be better together. So Costa Women is, as Nicole said, hashtag make it happen. Yeah, absolutely. Costa Women is a completely free network. We have 64 different nationalities. We have, on the Costa del Sol, we have 15 events a month. And they range for everything from coffee mornings, and we've got an 89-year-old woman coming to our coffee morning this week who doesn't go out and doesn't know anybody, and she's coming along, which I think is fabulous. We have business networking, we have social networking, we have all different types of events, so hopefully it ticks the boxes for the ladies that are here. I would just like to say something about loneliness, because loneliness is very much about a person feeling that they're not understood by other people. And when you move to a new country, that is just going to get 10 times worse, because you're coming to a country that doesn't necessarily speak your language, you have left your friends and family behind you, and it is an incredibly lonely time. So can I just encourage people just to extend the hand of friendship to whoever they meet, wherever they are, because it makes a huge amount of difference to men and women to know that there is somebody there that they can talk to. So even if that's the single thing that you do after today is to go and speak to a neighbour or someone you meet on the street and just smile and say hello, it could make the difference to somebody's life. So that's me.
Hey, hey, it's a brand new day.
This is Amanda. She's not only silk and sin, all sexy stuff between the shoots. She's our agony aunt on Marbella Now TV. She's also ambassador for Internations, and she also, for many years, worked with a funeral home. In the sense, she got insights into part of life that very few of us, fortunately, never have to get to see. Amanda, your few words.
Thank you very much, Nicole, and as everyone else has said, thank you very much, Nicole, for organising this event. I won't keep you long. I know we all want to network and exchange ideas. I want to speak very, very briefly about Internations, which is a charity organisation with something like 300,000, I don't know, some huge number of members across the world. And if you're a member of Internations, which is free, you can go to an Internations event in wherever you are. If you're in Liverpool, Dublin, Reykjavik, Moscow, there's an Internations event you can go to. But what I want to say about Internations in Marbella in particular here is that we are now trying to move Marbella Internations into a new phase where we integrate the community far more. And it's not just about events where you go out and have a drink and etc., etc. We're very different from Costa Women in that it's a mixed association. So it's a great way for couples to meet, or just couples to meet other couples, men to meet women, but also this, the thing the gentleman was saying, the support in Spain. We are going to try and get that going. We also want to look at things for talking about loneliness and being single for people in their 30s that are under 30, and also for people that are older. So we are really trying to diversify and become more than a group where you go and have food and have drinks. And there are many small groups, and you can join Internations and create your own group. If you want to have a group for teenagers, if you want to have a group for parents of teenagers, if you want to have a group for dealing with issues towards loneliness, isolation, or the elderly, you can join Internations and create your own group. It is there for the community. It's not just going out, having a few drinks, listening to some music, having a laugh, although it is that as well, hopefully, and great fun. But it's also, we want to move it into the 21st century and make it a real community-based organisation. So I'd encourage you to have a look at that, and also always, always, always watch Marbella Now, because there's so much community-minded stuff on that, and we all love Nicole. Thank you very much, Nicole.